This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
In television or Apple, who did it better? It's not a fair comparison, come on.
Hello humans, and welcome to the Generation X Gamer Investment Show, the first video game YouTube show focused on today's most popular video games and the companies behind them, all from a business perspective. We will talk about stocks, cryptos, NFTs, current events, and everything else in between in the gaming universe. My mission is to use our combined knowledge to help finance our retro collections, whose values now have risen at an all-time high. Now, with that said, let's get ready for the show. On today's episode...
Hello humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. Today we're going to talk about investor updates. That's right. Now you may think that comparing Apple and the Intellivision Amico is unfair, and it is if you are comparing them as businesses, right? One dwarfs the other in size. But when it comes to business practices, there's some things that are very, very important. And your communications with your investor is one of them, right? We own, from our project of starting from zero, we own one share and only one share of Apple stock. But that share allows us to receive reports from Apple. Of those reports, the gold standard is the 10K report, right? What is the 10K report?
Alright guys, now don't fall asleep on me, okay? The reason I'm showing you this is because this is the gold standard, okay? So a lot of people can say any company is not communicating enough, and that would be fair enough if the investors don't feel comfortable. But what is the gold standard, right? In anything in life, you're going to find the gold standard. What is the gold standard, for example, for you in gaming, or as far as a car, whatever? You have to have somebody to compare it to, or something to compare it to, right? In our case, when it comes to communications of financials, right, when it comes to any company that you're going to invest in, the gold standard is the 10K report, right? And basically what it is, sum it up here real quick, the federal securities laws require that publicly reporting companies that are on the stock market, NASDAQ, that kind of stuff, they need to disclose information on an ongoing basis, okay? The annual report is called the 10K because it's filled out on a form that's called 10K, right? And what it does, it provides an overview of the company's business and financial condition, right? So you know exactly how they're doing, and this includes audited financial statements, okay? So it's just not information they're making up. You can be really confident in this information, and that's why so many investors have confidence in the stock market, right? When anybody messes around with this, they go straight to jail.
Now these reports are mandated, right, if you're going to do any trading in the stock exchange, and that's why there's so much confidence in a lot of the companies that are there in the American market, right? That's why it's the place that does the most business. It's the most powerful economic force on the planet by far. But a lot of it has to do with communication and confidence. Whenever you see people going to jail, when it comes to companies, it's because they messed around with those reports, right? Or they did something nefarious within the company. The standards for the stock market and business in general are very, very high. But it comes from giving the consumer confidence that you're investing into a good company, but that comes through communication.
Now, communication is key, and many companies in the stock market, specifically a lot of the video game companies that you guys love, that you can buy stock in, also have annual meetings, shareholders, and they also have proxy statements, what they call them. But basically in that meeting you can hear, and sometimes you can ask questions of what's going on in the company, so that communication is constant. Sometimes they have quarterly meetings, year end. It just depends on the company. But usually you're going to find this back and forth with the stockholders in many reputable companies. That's what you want to see, right? If you're thinking of investing in XYZ company, your favorite video game company, this is what you want to see. You want updates, you want inside information, right? Who knows, maybe you may learn about a game that's coming up that you're really interested in. But this is where the news happens, and so many people ignore it sometimes, and this is where actually you can get some scoops.
When it comes to in television, you have a new company here trying to do things for the very first time. And I know a lot of people put everything in the context of being nefarious, but sometimes when you start a new business, you're just learning, right? You just grew up. There's certain things that you just don't know. Maybe the strengths of the company lie somewhere else. Maybe it's in the game development. But as you can see, so far they're struggling quite mightily with the whole project because it's too big for the people in charge. That's my own opinion, right? It's a bigger project than the people working there might have the capabilities to do. And the inexperience is showing because, you know, communication with your stockholders is key.
Even with one share, we get respect. Look at this. We get to vote on company business, or, you know, whoever holds the share, right? This is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. But with this, you know, one share that I have on this experiment that we're doing, right? We're starting from zero. Look at the kind of confidence we can build on this company, right? And many companies on the NASDAQ are like this, right? It's the requirement. But a lot of them go over and above what they need to do. And those are the companies that maybe you're looking for, where, you know, maybe you're not investing in 10, 12 companies. Maybe you just want to invest in 5 companies, whatever your case may be. But if you have that communication, you know what's going on in the company. You could be aware of their future plans. You get to vote on salaries, for example. Maybe you don't want to give the CEO that bonus if he didn't do a good job, those kind of things.
So even owning one stock, right? One stock of Apple entitles us to sit down on the meetings and listen to the webinars of what's going on to the company. So the communication between the corporation and the stockholders is key. For us, we know that Apple's not going to, go under anytime soon, right? But there's a lot of information there. We can learn maybe Apple's trying to acquire a company, right? Maybe they have interest in company X, Y, or Z, and that might give us information in order to, purchase maybe that stock. Or maybe we think that Apple is going to invest in something that we don't agree on. We think, that's a risky bet. I may not want to have such a high position in Apple until they cross that bridge, right? So there's a lot of things that you can learn from those reports, but communication is key. When you lose that communication between the company and the investor, it creates a void of information. And what that causes is panic, right? It causes fear. And you don't want to be an investor that's afraid, especially a new investor, right? This is something that we look for in the companies that we invest. Of course, all the companies that we're going to invest in have the 10K report. That is the gold standard. That is what every company should at least aspire to, right? Even if they don't have to do it, even if they're not publicly traded, that's a kind of confidence you want to have in a future investment. If somebody asks you to invest in their company, that's what you need to see minimum, right? That is the gold standard. That way you're not putting your money into something you don't know what's going on. The 10K report will give you everything you need to know about that company, where the money's going, what they're paying back, what's outstanding. All those things will be answered there. That's why it's so important, right? But when you're a smaller company, you even have to do more. If that's the standard, right? If that's the minimum standard for Apple, you need to give your investors even more confidence that you're trying to do things the right way. And in this case, right, with all the questions these people have, it's making the company look bad. On top of that, since there's no information, it gives the opportunity for people to speculate. Are you hiding something? How come you can't tell us this? How come you can't tell us that? How are you spending your money? These questions are just going to get harder and harder until this becomes transparent somehow. Hopefully the company can learn from this and move forward, but until the system launches, they're going to have these kind of questions. But what we're going to look for in the future for our portfolio are these type of companies. We need this kind of confidence in the companies we're investing in, and we need to see that their future is bright, not only by our ideas, but we need to look at their books. We need to look at that 10K. We need to have that rapport with the company and get the information we need to make confident investments in any stock. All right, humans, I will catch you on the next one. Take care.
New videos every Monday and Sunday. Thank you for joining me on another episode of the Gen X Gamer. Remember to like and subscribe, click that notification bell, and remember, never ever be afraid to be happy. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.